is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Booth. Post-Thanksgiving, post-Black Friday. We know that you guys have all been out there shopping the malls, making the miles, finding the sales. So feel free, while you're in such a generous spirit for others and yourself, to shop at our merch store, insidetheboothreviews.com/shop, or check out the description box down below where you can find links to all of our wares and find different ways. If you've got just a couple of bucks landing around somewhere, you feel like supporting some of your smaller YouTuber friends, feel free to do so in the description box down below. But enough of all that merriment, that joyous occasion, all the bills. We are coming at you with a beloved movie that's been around since 1973. And that would be, Dan, what movie are we reviewing today?
Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yes. Another Thanksgiving movie that maybe doesn't get the recognition that it should, even though it's been around for decades and decades. I think Charlie Brown Christmas gets a lot more recognition than Thanksgiving.
It does.
For sure. But anyway, we hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and that you're maybe traveling right now. Stay safe, and maybe just watching us while you're on the road. We hope to be your one perfect source of entertainment this evening. I mean, perfect's kind of a heavy responsibility, which we don't take lightly. So let's give the people perfection, Dan.
Oh.
So, we're gonna do our 5 categories as always, everybody, and we give points for each category and tally them up at the end and tell you our final thoughts. So let's talk about Charlie Brown, that man of mystery. That bald-headed dude. Poor guy.
We'll start off with the plot.
The plot. Would you like to tell the world what the plot is, Dan?
The plot is...
For those that don't know.
Brown is having a hard time figuring out what he's going to do for Thanksgiving because he's got to go to his grandma's house. And his female friend, which I always thought was a boy...
What? Her name is literally Peppermint Patty.
I know, Peppermint Patty. Well, I think because he's got, or she's got kind of a manly voice. I think that's why I always thought she was a boy.
True, and I think she's the first female in the Peanuts gang to wear shorts. She doesn't wear dress.
And and she's bossy, like kind of like a boy would be. So I thought, I guess women.
Lucy's bossy. But it's nice that you think that way. It's nice that you think men are bossy more than women. I appreciate that. Point for feminism. All right. Yeah.
But no, I mean, growing up as a kid, I always thought, boys were the tough ones, the ones that push around. And, so I always thought that she was a he, Peppermint Patty, and I never really, and I also don't think I even remembered the name of that character. So
okay.
Probably why,
Okay.
The boyish voice made it seem like it was a boy.
I mean, she is pretty bossy in this movie, and so to build off of what Dan was saying, Peppermint Patty decides to invite herself over to Charlie Brown's house for Thanksgiving. And then invites all their little friends over and says, hey, Chuck is having Thanksgiving. Let's head to Thanksgiving. And then Charlie Brown doesn't know how to say no. So all of a sudden everybody's coming over and Snoopy decides to help out, makes this very childish and unique
Thanksgiving
dinner.
Toast.
It was popcorn toast, pretzel sticks, and candy.
Things
and of
that
course,
you would eat after Thanksgiving dinner watching a movie.
And of course, everybody comes over and they're all disappointed and they start calling him very ill and unfavorable names. And after that,
I can't believe that they use the word stupid in the show, because
I'm not surprised.
Well, because I know Charlie Brown is the creator is like a Christian. So
Charles Schultz.
Yeah, so it was weird to hear, oh, stupid and all these different names. I'm like,
People were tougher back in the day, Dan. Even
yeah,
the
I guess so.
Christians, like we're
I
a little
guess
bit
so.
wimpy nowadays. I think we don't know how to take some
Yeah,
toughness. You know,
we can't take somebody calling us stupid, I guess,
right?
anymore.
I mean, they're pretty aggressive towards Charlie Brown. We'll probably talk more about that when we get into the end. But so long and short of it, guys, Charlie Brown then calls his grandmother and says, "I'm so sorry, Nana, but I am going to be a little bit late. My friends are here. I've messed up everything, and I'm such a disappointment." And Nana has the good heart to say, "Charlie Brown, invite your friends over for Thanksgiving." And they kind of discuss the true meaning of Thanksgiving, and they all get in the back of the station wagon and head off to Grandma's house. And that would be the plot of Charlie Brown.
And then Snoopy was hiding out from the other kids because he pulls out a huge Thanksgiving turkey at the end, and he's like, "Me and the bird's gonna have some Thanksgiving turkey." So,
which I'm surprised Woodstock. See, that's the back in the day. Woodstock being the little bird there. He was like, "I don't have a problem with this."
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
It's not canary, so I'm okay with this. Thumbs up. So, Dan, this plot, what do you think about it? What kind of point would you give a plot like this simple little movie?
It's very simple, so I don't know. Because it wasn't a huge plot, but I guess there is a meaning behind it all, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the plot and the allegory kind of mix, I would say, in this little show. So I'll give the plot a point, I guess. Just because for the fact that they have to learn, even Peppermint Patty has to learn to be a little nicer, you know, because
for sure
her friend, what was her name?
Lucy.
Marcy was like, "Hey, that was a little rough, you know. You're
kind of mean to poor Chuck.
Yeah,
you're the one who invited yourself over to his Thanksgiving."
Yeah, were you invited, or did you invite yourself?
Oh, yeah, and all of a sudden she just kind of wilts a little bit.
It's like, oh yeah, I guess. So Marcy, take care of this for me because
I know, right?
Talking or something. I don't know what the whole deal was.
Marcy and Peppermint Patty, I always thought they were such a funny combination. Yeah, Peppermint Patty's always been one of my favorite characters just because of the way that she acts. For me, the plot, like you said, it is a pretty basic plot. It's definitely not really brilliant. And the part for me that was difficult with this movie is that, like, you know, coming off of Freebirds and then watching this, is that there's just, even though if you guys haven't seen our previous review on a Thanksgiving movie, Freebirds, you can go back and watch that. We did that last week. Is that times have changed so much. And I love old cartoons, but I was kind of surprised as watching this. Like, I was trying to focus on the plot, and I'm like, there seems to be like two different plots kind of coming together here, or just different story. I don't know. It didn't seem like a seamless kind of plot for me. And poor Snoopy, man, he had to do all the work, and then they were all mad at him, and I'm like, you guys shouldn't even be here. Yeah. And I know it's a kids movie, so I was trying to not think of the reality of everything, because I'm like, where are these kids' parents? Why do they let them go over for Thanksgiving at Charlie Brown's house?
Yeah. Do they not have
and then they just packed up and went to Nana's house, and it's like, why aren't you at your house?
Right. Right, exactly.
So, I know it's a kids movie, and you know that doesn't really happen, but it just, honestly, and I guess I just, as I gotten older, I'm really surprised at how mean the kids are to Charlie Brown. And I'm not saying this in like a pansy way. I mean, they full on just bullies to Charlie Brown. You blockhead, you're an idiot, you can't do anything right.
And then he beats himself up about it. You know?
And
so weird.
I've seen Charlie Brown Christmas and all this, you know, The Great Pumpkin and things like that. So honestly, this movie, I really only want to give it half a point because I didn't find it as interesting as the other ones. And I was just kind of irritated, honestly, a little bit by the plot.
Right.
It's like another movie that puts down Charlie Brown
for
trying to be nice, if you think about it.
Right.
So
for not standing up for himself. basically.
And saying, "Gee whiz, guys, it's Thanksgiving. No, you can't come to my house."
Yeah, right. Just go to your own houses. Go to your own grandma's house. I got plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. So, all right. So next on the list, kind of goes like a nice little segue. Kind of finding some of these kids really irritating is acting. I mean, the kids sounded like kids.
Yeah,
because they were kids.
Yeah.
It kind of threw me off because these were a different group of kids, which totally makes sense because the Christmas movie was made back in the 60s.
Okay.
So obviously you would need a different set of kids, but it actually kind of bothered me. And it's nobody's fault, but it bothered me because they were voices I was not accustomed to, especially Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown.
Okay.
So yeah, they were different kids. And I don't know how to, I mean, they did a good job, but I was just like, it was hard for me again to get into this film because these are recognizable characters with unrecognizable voices.
Okay,
Right.
so it's been a while since I've even watched Charlie Brown show, so like, I guess the voices didn't bother me because I was watching it for, I guess, the cartoon, you know,
So it just
and
kind of
everything else, the plot and stuff. I don't know. Just
So I mean, for me, acting, like, the kids did a good job, and it's not really their fault. So I didn't really know how to point, like, how to do a point for this. I'm gonna give it a half a point as well, just because it's like you know, we try really hard nowadays to make sure that the voices kind of sound similar. And
right, exactly.
You know,
that's true.
so I give it half a point.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a point just because, you know, the different voices didn't bother me because, like, again, like I said, it's been a while since I've even seen a Charlie Brown thing. So yeah, doesn't bother me. So I'll give it a point. You know, I thought they did pretty decent. You know, reacting to each other and stuff like that. So,
yeah, it's true.
Because I think back then they had to. I'm not sure how they did it back then for recording the voices and stuff, but I think I could be totally wrong, but the kids, like, you have multiple people sitting in the same room doing the voices, right? So
I think
I could be wrong.
Usually it's done like they do that when they first get together, like the script read, but then they have to put them in their own individual booths.
Okay.
When they do the voice work. I mean, they did that, you know, with like Disney films, even like the older ones and stuff like that too, because otherwise you pick up the resonance from everything and it's not crystal clear.
Right. Well, that could be. Okay. So I don't, you know, I don't know how they recorded the audio. It could have been just all individual. So, and if it was individual, I think they did a pretty good job. Because you're really acting to nobody talking.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they got somebody on the other side going.
Yeah,
okay.
Most likely they had somebody in the headset being like, okay, Charlie Brown just said this.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, on to your favorite topic. At least I always assume, I constantly say that, but I know that you have a big soft spot for cinematography, so I just always assume this is your favorite category.
Right. And since this is a cartoon animation and it's not like computer generated,
it's hand drawn. It's
all hand drawn. It's flat. It's, you know, I think the animator did a good job. But yeah, it's flat and there's a lot of repetitiveness, and I know they did that in a lot of cartoons back then.
Right.
Repetitive.
It's very simple.
Like the backgrounds are very
repetitive. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
You know, I think that works in its favor too, because like this is part of like it's about the characters, it's about the story. It's not so much about the stuff.
Right.
And so
yeah.
It was a simpler time back then too. I mean there are highlights and shadows and things like that. So there is, you know, even in simplicity, there is a level of believability there too.
Right.
It's just not, you know, it's just not detailed greatly.
Right.
But, you know, this was his style and they carried it through. I mean, it's recognizable as the Peanuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to give it a point just because I do enjoy hand-drawn cartoons, and it's kind of hard, I think, to judge cinematography for, like what you said, a flat-surfaced, limited detail cartoon.
Yeah, it is. It is hard. So I guess I can give it a point anyway, just because it is hand drawn and everything, and there's a lot of work that goes into stuff like that.
Yeah, there's so as much work as goes into hand drawing, I think, as goes into lighting in the real world, or even in, like in Freebirds, the animation and everything like that. There's just as much work to make sure that it flows. So, but there we go, cinematography. Up next here on Inside the Booth is going to be.
Well, before we get into that, do we want to do a short little commercial break? Real quick, like
I guess we can. I mean, we did in the beginning, but we could always do it again.
All right. Well, I mean, we could just tell people to vanquish that like button.
We could always tell people to vanquish the like button because it never gets boring or old or tiresome to remind people, because we see you out there. We see the numbers. We know you're watching this and you're not liking it, so you need to like this, and you need to subscribe if you haven't.
You gotta like it. That's right.
And if you have subscribed, you need to ring the bell so you get notified of all of our upcoming videos, because we post every Tuesday and Sunday. We go live typically every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every now and then we sprinkle a little bit of extra goodness. Just like a little bit of Parmesan on spaghetti, or a little bit of chives over top your mashed potatoes. Sprinkle a little extra goodness here and there with some trailer reaction videos. And so you'll want to be notified of all of that by clicking the bell button. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. I see you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, if you guys like what we do on this channel, support us, not only by buying merchandise and sharing this and doing all that you love to do, but we also have a Patreon page, and you can become a Patreon member for just $1 a month, and that helps us out as well. So
yes, thank you to all of our wonderful patrons who support us there. We appreciate you greatly. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, we are significantly thankful for you.
That's right. And we're always thankful for you. Every day is Thanksgiving for us here inside the booth.
It should be, as it should be. For sure. All right. So the next topic, the next category, the next thing that we are talking about in Charles Schultz's Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is the music.
And they always have like a significant, like a memorable piano playing.
Vince Guaraldi. Yeah, like he's just, his stuff is magic.
I mean, it's memorable. It's good for the time. Guess I'll give it a point.
I guess I'll give it a point. It's a timeless classic piece of music, but I'll give it a point.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something I always listen to and be like, I love Charlie Brown, so I'm going to listen to it every single day.
Oh, but it's music that kind of gets you in the spirit of holidays, though.
Right. And it's kind of upbeat, it's always usually upbeat, like
right, because I mean, this also transitioned into the 70s, and so it wasn't just Vince Guaraldi, but John Scott Trotter, another person, kind of helped with the music as well. So I wonder if that has anything to do with maybe a little bit of tempo change and all that kind of stuff. I think it's funny that there is a featured song in this film, and it's Over the Woods, Over the Hills and Through the Woods to Grandmother's House We Go. And I'm like, really? That's the featured song? And they didn't even do it well. Like, they didn't even have it timed, right? They were like talking over one another.
I think they were doing that because it's supposed to be kids or something.
I think so too, which of course captured children perfectly, that they don't care about timing. They just do what they want to do. But it was just, at the same time, it was kind of hard to listen to because, while one is saying over the hill, over the hill, like it just calm down, everybody. I can only imagine the parents in the front seat being like, oh my gosh, what did we just do?
It is strange. I have my 3 kids. Sometimes they sing totally, they make up their own songs, and they're always singing, right? And they're singing their own song, different tones, different notes, and it does get. It
was kind of
I do sometimes tell them, okay, guys, I know you're singing. I love the singing. You guys are great, but just stop.
Right. Either get it together or just stop. So I will give music a point though too, because it's just I mean, there's some times where you want something fresh and different. Other times where it's nice just to hear the same thing. It's in the same vein. It's recognizable, and it's just again, it's something that puts you in the mood.
Kind of interesting too, though, when they were singing with that when he wakes the bird up out of his nest. That was an interesting song as well.
So so A for creativity and attempt and all that kind of stuff. So I would give it
It's Charlie Brown.
So you said that for our next topic, you said that the plot kind of went into the allegory. So what did you mean exactly by that?
Well, I guess learning to be nice, and I guess learning the real meaning of, I guess you could say, Thanksgiving.
Linus did talk about that. Yeah. Give a little
Linus,
history lesson.
That's right. And be thankful for what you have, and not all the kids were thankful for toast and popcorn, and
I know who wouldn't be thankful for a toast with butter, popcorn, pretzel sticks, and candy. I mean, honestly, I was actually surprised that these kids were upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Turned a totally different.
Turkey? Where's the mashed potatoes?
Yeah, she was upset.
Gravy?
I really did. I haven't seen this movie in decades, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to go into this angry. You never saw it? Well, good. There you go. It's a fresh take. I did not think this was going to go into such an angry, aggressive route. I thought they were all going to be super happy that they got junk food for Thanksgiving.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. No. Especially Charlie Brown and his little gang there with Snoopy made the food themselves. And Charlie Brown's like, I don't even know how to cook. So Snoopy's like, he's the helper. and what I didn't understand was Charlie Brown was mad at Snoopy for not wearing his chef hat because he was dressed as a pilgrim. Don't be dressed as a pilgrim. You got to serve the food.
What I thought was peculiar was that they had like 15 toasters.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of nowhere. That part was weird to me. That part I don't understand. That was a little bit too gimmicky. I think that kind of made the plot, well, not the plot, but like just kind of hurt for me. It kind of hurt the feel of the movie, because I'm like, okay, Charlie Brown's not known for doing these weird, gimmicky, astronomical things. Besides the fact we know he has a dog that understands what he's saying, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have these weird, tacky things. That's the first time I've ever seen something weird and tacky in a Charlie Brown show or movie or anything like that.
I don't think I've ever seen a toaster that had the sides go in like that.
I'm wondering if that was a 70s creation. I'd have to go back and see. But they had both. Yeah, they had the two slotted one, and then they had the things on the sides. But so your allegory is basically be nice to people.
Yeah, be nice to each other. Don't put yourself down. God is always there, and it's just one of those things. Like if somebody is mean to you, you don't have to put yourself down because of it.
Right.
And always be truthful and be honest, because Charlie Brown wasn't being honest or truthful on the phone with Peppermint Patty at first, because he didn't know what to say to her.
He didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah, he didn't want to hurt her feelings. No, you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you got to hurt feelings to get things done. Especially if you're you don't always have to be. I guess you can say you don't. Yes, be nice, but you don't have to. I don't know,
be a pushover. Be a doormat.
Exactly. You don't always have to be that.
Which seems to be Charlie Brown's conundrum.
Yeah.
Always. Exactly. So you give your allegory a point.
Sure, I would.
Of course, you had like 3 of them, so you're cheating. But I know there's kind of a few of them in here. It's like it's kind of hard.
Overlap each other. That's why I said the plot and the allegory and everything that just kind of overlaps with each other.
I want to say that this is kind of an abstract thought, but I appreciate Snoopy, the man's best friend right here. Okay, Charlie Brown is suddenly finding himself in a bind, and Snoopy's like, "I got you."
Yeah.
And so right away gets the chef's hat on, heads to the kitchen, starts working his little behind off with Woodstock, and he's like, "Don't worry, I got you covered." And I just want to say, like, it would be nice. I think it's nice to have friends, if you will, friends like that, you know, get in a pinch and a bind. Be like, I got, you know, he just, I don't know. I just thought that was a really beautiful moment. Which why it crushed me when Peppermint Patty was so upset about it. And Snoopy he's a dog. He tried so hard
He did, yeah.
to help out and make it something special. Not only, and I was a little bit mad at Charlie Brown for this. Not only did Snoopy work his butt off in the kitchen to make a meal, but he actually went out and found furniture and made the table arrangements and all that kind of stuff. He went all out. I mean, Charlie Brown kind of helped here and there, but overall, this was Snoopy's thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did all that. And so I think, the long and short of it all is just be grateful, be appreciative. You don't know what people are going through to try to make a moment exist or make you happy. And I think we all can agree that Peppermint Patty was an obnoxious turd in this movie, but she kind of had a change of heart when she realized, kind of like also what Dan was saying, you know, Marcy had to point out to Peppermint Patty that she was being a jerk. And it's like, sometimes you got to speak up. There's quite a few little elements in such a simple cartoon.
Yeah.
For sure. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and tally up our points here. And while Dan does the thing.
Yeah, I do the thing. What thing is it? Nobody knows. So everybody that's watching, thank you for watching. Obviously, we're not going to name each and every one out because this is a pre-recorded video. And, you know, just the holidays are upon us, and you'll probably get some more pre-recorded videos, especially next month. And, you know, we do enjoy doing this stuff, but sometimes, you know, we got to spend time with family and friends as well.
Oh, for sure.
And don't forget, everybody, be thankful. If you were not thankful for Thanksgiving, turn that around and call your parents up or whoever up and say, you know what, I was in the wrong. Even if, let's say you were not in the wrong, but just say, you know what, I didn't mean to make Thanksgiving a bad thing.
I appreciate all the effort that you put into it.
Exactly. So if you're not thankful before this video happened, and then you watch this and you're like, oh, you know what, they got some points. So just, you know,
You got all the points.
That's right. Let people know that you're not upset.
Right. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a lost art. It's a nice, courteous thing. Send somebody a text, a phone call, or even a handwritten note or a card after Thanksgiving and send it to whoever hosted and just say, thank you. Because if you've ever hosted Thanksgiving, it can be a stressful time. And those people are really trying to put together something really wonderful to bring family and friends together and make it a joyous experience. So just a little courtesy, a little hospitality on your end would be fantastic. So out of 10 possible points, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving gets what do you think it is, Dan?
9.
Ding, ding. He got it. It
nice.
is a perfect 9 out of 10 for Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. While it's not my most favoriteest Charlie Brown creation, I still think it's worth watching. It is a fun holiday movie. And as we said before, it is nice just to see Thanksgiving films that are all about Thanksgiving, not about how to get a girl, not about how to lose a dude, you know, not some weird action movie. It's
not
just
about how to get turkeys off the menu.
Get turkeys on. I mean, it's just a clean, fun, and really, you know, sound.
Yeah, it's just
children's family Thanksgiving movie.
That's it. So. And I watched this on YouTube, so I'll leave a link in the description or in the comments. No, the description.
In the description.
So if you're interested in watching this,
maybe you've never seen it before. To click. Absolutely. And of course, links to different ways to support the channel are all down in the description box. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, leave us little heart emojis, leave us something to think about.
Say something.
Say something. And
it also helps the algorithms. You know, you love us, let other people love us too.
If you love us, let other people love us too. That'll be our new motto here on Inside the Booth. Well, we hope that you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And hopefully, if you're traveling right now, you're being safe, you get to your destination. And we will be back to some of our regular schedules in the next couple of weeks. But we've also got some extra special things planned for you in the month of December. So
That's
again,
right.
ring that notification bell so that you get notified of all the cool stuff that is here to come before the new year.
That's it.
That's right.
That's
And
right.
we'll catch you later here on Inside the Booth.
That's about it, but no point. I'm sticking to it. Oh my god! He just spit out.